1-2. Sampras, third set.
Agassi can't keep his eye off the sky now.
He's at the right end.
Love 15.
Sixth time he's won the first point on the Sampras serve. Makes all the difference. Because even if he gets back as he did then, the confidence is still in Agassi. The hope is still there. Now it's a slightly different matter. I didn't like the way he hit that first serve. He actually hit it with a very bent right arm. The sort of action you have when you don't throw the ball up high enough.
Second backhand volley error by Agassi standards, reasonable returns.
Well, he really needs a first serve, and Agassi just has to keep, I think, smooth on the return of serve, should the first serve be missed.
It's a bit more kick on that serve, but great length. More like a grass court point. Sampras in action.
Well, such a forceful first volley. The snap of the right foot there really gave him that pace. And then sublime in the air. So where tennis becomes, I think, quite balletic, quite ballet-like.
Didn't have a hope until it hit the net.
It might be interesting to see just where Sampras is when he ends up playing it, because he ended up playing it parallel to the net. Such presence of mind here.
So with ballet in mind, it's 2-2 in the third set. Only the second double.
None in the last set. Agassi looking for a collection of balls to sort out the quicker two. And you might say, well, how can you tell they're quicker? But of course, if they've got less wear on them, less fuzz, and are smoother, the thought is they'll travel through the air faster.
Normally goes down the line off those, Agassi, but such is the desire to get to the backhand of Sampras.
Game, Agassi.
Good solid game from the top seed. Settle now 3-2 for Andre Agassi in the third set. It's a tough one to call, isn't it now, Fruit?
I thought that was a disappointing game by Sampras after the double fault on the first point. There were opportunities, but even the two-hander that Agassi played wide to his backhand side, there was still the chance, really, of playing it had he gone down the line, of making the point. But he just took a wild swing at it. And I don't think he was at his concentrated best. It was a pity, really, having saved the break point in the previous game. Because it's, even though he has more opportunities generally of getting to the Agassi serve, with Agassi in a pretty confident mood about his service these days, Sampras, I think, needs to take those invitations when they arrive.
Sampras 2-3, third set.
His ace count last year was much reduced, under 8 per match, as opposed to the previous year over 11.
Much better backhand volley, played with more care perhaps.
Just played the 14 events last year, Sampras, and therefore remarkable that he should have earned just under $3 million.
Love game for Pete Sampras. 3-3 third set. Games are still fairly flying through.
Well, the significant is the second service points one there, 73. That's very high for Agassi, and of course what that is suggesting is not that he's scoring with the serve particularly, but that Sampras is missing too many returns and losing too many points when they get into the rally on the Agassi second serve. Well, yet again, not making any impression. His problems with the officials, Sampras's, seem to have, for the moment, been forgotten.
Game Agassi.
Only the fourth ace of the match for Andre Agassi. A familiar jog back.
Agassi leads by 4 games to 3.
Sending out a message to his opponent as well as to himself. Andre Agassi 4-3 now in the third set at 1 set all.
I think Sampras's problems on the Agassi serve is that he's still getting caught. That one long rally we saw in the last game, I think he played it very well. He's just got to bide his time a little longer. He went into the drive backhand, I think, a little too prematurely. Just got to bide his time, because in the interim, just pushing the ball back, hitting it deep, he's wearing Agassi down a little bit, or wearing him out. And whilst that may not be uppermost in his minds, I still think in the end it'll give him the opportunity to perhaps chip and charge off a short one, or perhaps run round to bring the big forehand into play. He's just got to be a little more patient. He will probably say exactly the opposite. His choice, I'm sure he feels, is to get in more quickly.
3-4, third set.
15 love.
Wow, that was a call from Rudy Berger. The bleeper. Must have been the faintest of nicks.
Yes, neither player heard it, and of course what it does, it just reminds Sampras about officialdom.
It's virtually in the same spot.
He's now won 9 successive points on his serve.
40 love.
Sixteenth ace.
Well, the casino kid from Las Vegas might not approve of 4 of a kind as far as ace is concerned, but I will.
Well left. This match is really being played at a ferocious pace.
And that's a real scar, isn't it, that shot? First opportunity to bring the forehand into play. That's what he's seeking.
Game Agassi.
So another change of ends for Pete Sampras to ponder over the role of his backhand. 5-4, Agassi, third set.
Sunshine football on Eurosport. The African Nations Cup is one of the biggest tournaments in the world, with some of the most brilliant players in the world strutting their stuff in the arenas of Ghana and Nigeria. And Eurosport is right there, live, as 16 nations go shooting for glory. The African Nations Cup, South Africa against the Democratic Republic of Congo, Thursday at 19:30 CET, live on Eurosport.
Back live to the Australian Open.
With Agilent Technologies.
And if you listen, the buzz around this Rod Laver court is just as intense as it was at the beginning. Such is the attraction and the talk points in this match. 29-minute first set, 28-minute second set. 27 minutes so far in this, the third set, which Pete Sampras is going to try and stay in, serving at 4-5 down. Yeah, lucky to win that point, he's saying.
It's been a while since Agassi's gone right at him, and it was a good opportunity. I thought once Sampras had played that, he was dead. I figured Agassi was bound to win that. Good reaction by Sampras. Perhaps Agassi might have been wiser just to roll it down the line. 12 points in a row on serve.
That's the most awkward slam dunk, because the miss hit was certainly going in.
And he couldn't quite get under it. It was more an arm shot, this. The arm was a long way from the body. It seemed to jar as he came down. Hasn't broken a string yet. Well, Agassi has seen 3 second serves in this game. It's fairly rare. Successively, I mean.
40-15.
Problem is with Sampras, though, his second serve is one of his great strengths. It's almost just a first serve again.
But when you realize the difference between winning first serves, generally in the 80s, and second serves in the 50s, you know where you've got to capitalize.
Game Sampras. Five games over.
Well, again,
More
it
out.
looked good, though, didn't it?
I thought it was more out than in.
It's a fair few that have an opinion.
Shows the ball on the line. Looked good there. It's strange to say, but he's almost like a little boy lost at the moment. He's so undecided about what to do.
I think his mind was still on the lack of core. Curve and slice on that ball. So visible from Agassi.
Game, Agassi.
Love game. Again, the jog back. And Ray Agassi ahead again in the third set. Sampras again in thought, having to come out in a minute or so to serve for the second time to stay in the third set.
And the real problems remain for Sampras, just not winning enough on the Agassi second serves. Ample opportunity in the last game, and frankly just didn't look like winning any. Agassi, when Agassi's winning 75% of his second serves, you know that the opposition is not hitting balls off the ground particularly well. Because an ace is a rarity for Agassi, and more rare on the second serve.
So they're coming up on the ATP Tour on Eurosport in February. Dubai, Rotterdam, Marseille and London indoors. In April, Estoril and Barcelona. And the clay Düsseldorf World Team Cup heads the cast in May towards the real start, the second Grand Slam at Roland Garros.
One just wonders how many of those, particularly the clay court tournaments from Estoril onwards, it's all clay, how many of those Sampras might play in order to give himself the shot, of course, at the one major that he hasn't won.
For Agassi, of course, he's won all 4 of the majors. Agassi about to serve, 2-3, fourth set. It's in.
It's a shot of genius. We've seen 2 lobs in this match from Sampras that are typically of Agassi. It just shows his variety. There's power, but there's also a lot of thought and feel.
It's the first point that Agassi's lost at the net in the last 2 sets. And he came in 6 times in the third set, but won every point. But again, up against it right here on serve.
Thank you.
Oh. The scare tactic from Sampras.
Well, it's so pure, isn't it? The space is there, but so many of us just crumble a little bit when we try and hit into that space, but not Agassi. It's like an arrow to the target. How does Sampras play this one?
It's in.
Well, it seems that he who dares wins.
He's 15-40 down in his last service game and survived. Facing break point again. Interesting that time round. Steffi here, her lips were sealed on the break point.
Sampras had a counter, I think, fair amount of wind, it seemed, in that point early on there. The ball just moved about, bobbled.
It's just long. I think there's been so many close calls that they're all questionable now when they're that close. Well, I think the ovation is so huge because everybody's emotions are being tangled with here. Just when you think somebody's in the ascendancy, the other one comes back, and then it switches round, and of course all the ingredients of what makes a great match.
Thank you.
3-all, fourth set.
15 long.
And these stats that they've been putting up are all pretty representative, apart from the fact that Agassi's second serve is still winning an extraordinary amount of points on the second serve. It's keeping him alive.
From the moment he took his racket back, he knew he was going to make it.
15 all.
Well, it's just a marvel, isn't it? The big arch. It's like going to St. Louis.
Seen that so many times. So intent is Agassi to keep the returns low at the feet of this man. Oh, he pushed it.
Just hit it a little flat. The inclination sometimes is just that on the forehand. Backhands players tend to slice and therefore impart a bit more control, a lot better on.
Oh, is that a great volley? 30-all, love 30. Sorry, 3-all, love 30, of course.
That's astonishing. Reminiscent of many of the great Australian volleyers.
Great determination from Agassi, more so than visible there. 4-3, Pete Sampras in the fourth set. More to come after this.
advanced technology doesn't have to be complicated. That every product must be meaningful. And the end result will make you smile. Open up to Samsung Digital. Samsung Digital. Everyone's invited.
So, da ist es. Und da war ja noch eins. Und hier, Glückwunsch, Strillinge.
Aber da brauchen wir jetzt ein Haus.
Ich empfehle in diesem Fall Immobilien Scout 24.
Neu, Immobilien Scout 24. Sucht ihr neues Zuhause. Kostenlos. Zur Miete und zum Kauf. Rund um die Uhr unter 0180 5 3 mal die 7 3 mal die 4. Oder im Internet. Immobilien Scout 24. Sucht ihr neues Zuhause kostenlos.
First serve, first point, 8th game.
Such an unusual backhand that by Sampras, but what he did so well there was show Agassi the butt of the racket. Once you point the butt of the racket in the play and then you have swing through the ball, you have the most complete of swings. So if the timing is right, you're going to hit it very hard indeed.
Seventh ace.
It's clever because the back bending exercise was done and you'd assume the kick serve was following. Well, he kicked it, but he kicked it to the forehand.
Four straight points from Love 15. No sign of wilting.
He's lost as many points on his serve in this set, Agassi, as he'd done in any other set, bar the tie-break set, of course. Oh, no, even then, I think it was only 7. So the headaches are there, but he's holding on. That's the essential thing.
Screaming out his support. He's just fidgeting there. He's urging him on.
He picked it pretty well. Couldn't just quite get the timing. You could see it was just hit with the arms alone. There was no body behind it. Therefore a lot slower.
From that camera angle, you can see why, if you don't move early, you have no chance.
Well, he was taught by Pete Fisher, his first coach, who would call the direction of the serve just at the very last minute. And Sampras had to react to Pete Fisher's call. When he started, of course, Sampras was a two-hander on both sides. And Fisher always said of him that he had just the most amazing coordination and skills. Fisher felt that Sampras could have played any sport to a very, very high level, any ball sport.
'30th ace. 7.5 games worth.
Game Sampras.
It's just too good. Andre Agassi, when we come back from a break, it's going to have to hold serve to stay in the Australian Open. It's Sampras, 5-4.
Sunshine football on Eurosport. The African Nations Cup is one of the biggest tournaments in the world, with some of the most brilliant players in the world strutting their stuff in the arenas of Ghana and Nigeria. And Eurosport is right there, live, as 16 nations go shooting for glory. The African Nations Cup, South Africa against the Democratic Republic of Congo, Thursday at 19:30 CET, live on Eurosport.
Welcome back. Everybody deep in thought and animated as to what is going to happen next. Will Andre Agassi play a good game here and stay in the match? And can he, more to the point? We've had a wonderful evening so far, haven't we all? Serving to stay in the match, 4-5, fourth set.
It's always risky taking the shortest route. The one down the line, you're going over the high part of the net, but if you've got the skills that Agassi's got here, you can really make an opponent move. But what encourages me about those 2 points is that the Agassi muscle seems to be growing in strength.
Thank you.
That was what was perhaps a little ominous about the previous point. Sampras playing a very relaxed because he was down 40 love, but the backhand got into a little bit of a groove. And she'll know all about groove backhands. Such an underrated slice that Graf had.
All the questions answered emphatically by the #1 player in the world. 5-all, fourth set.
Please.
That's 4 successive aces, 3 in the last game, at the end of the last game. And of course many would point to the fact that he's scored 32 to Agassi's 9, and therefore Agassi's skills apart from the serve must be that greater, and that Sampras's game is therefore nigh boring. I don't see it that way.
Game, Sampras.
33rd ace. He's already on 6 games in this set. If you've got the memory of the tiebreak in the 3rd set, he'll sit down quite relaxed. And Andre Agassi will have to come out to stay in the Australian Open. And I suppose it must go through his mind, through that if he does, he's got to face a tiebreak, where in the last set he didn't get 1 point.
Paul Adderton had that to say about Agassi toweling off and taking his shirt off, that every time he did it, it was like the Benny Hill show. I don't think he meant it unkindly. But it's his quick actions, I suppose, and the fact that the crowd, of course, always erupts and responds to it, reacts to it, as they did to Benny Hill. But he's come out so well, Chris, partly to answer your point. He's looked even stronger in the last few games than he did earlier, Agassi. So I think he's up to the task.
So has to do it again. Hold serve to stay in this semi-final. 5-6, 4th set. Yeah, overall from Rudy Berger. Called long. Agassi won't like this at this stage.
He doesn't know.
Clearly long. Clearly long. Serve was clearly long. Serve was clearly long. The serve was clearly long, like this long. How are you marking? You're saying it was behind Cyclops? No, not behind Cyclops. It was clearly long. I don't know why I didn't do it. It's clearly long. So you overruled the machine right there? It was clearly long.
It's a fair point. He raises.
Yes. He's a pretty good debater.
I'm so pleased Andre Agassi won that point. For me, that serve looked good. It's certainly not clear enough long to overrule Cyclops. Incredible.
Well, such phenomenal offensive skills and such terrific defensive. He must have wrenched his stomach muscles so many times in that point, Agassi. Stretching to one side, darting to the other. Sampras's backhand beginning to flow again. It's amazing how it has its fits and starts.
What a fantastic point, starting off with such a clever serve. Emphatic game again, 6-all. Who knows what's going to happen in this tiebreak?
Well, Sampras now 6-4 in tiebreakers. And this is the 78th set.
I think everybody wants a 5th set. It's a better start.
Well, he really threw the kitchen sink at this, and you might well have thought, I think as Sampras did, that it was going to go down the line. But amazing, I think even if Sampras had covered, Agassi would have won the point. He hit it so well.
Agassi knows how important every point is, and he's just got to do his best on every one. Other players he would have given up maybe a shot ago.
They are giving their all. If it goes to a fifth, it'll go down as one of the epics.
Oh. I mentioned desire as one of the qualities in matches like this. Doesn't get any better than this. Oh, he was there. Just missed it.
Well, quite amazingly, Sampras, who's prone to double faulting, sometimes two in a row, has not hit a double fault in this set at all, with such big second serves.
Say big. That was huge. 193 Ks on a second serve, 2-all in the tie-break.
Please. It is so belittling for us mere mortals.
Got a feeling that hit umpire's chair. Rudy Berger.
Change of ends with the roof open, of course. And the weather's clear.
Memories of that great tie-break, Borg McEnroe in the fourth set. Come flooding back. Oh, that's not possible.
Well.
Well, if that doesn't break Agassi's heart, I don't know what will. Well.
This is where not only desire but conditioning becomes so important, and Agassi was able to give this shot his all, which you can't do if you're breathing heavily.
Words just don't suffice anymore. Set point to level the match.
And he deserves it, I think.
Thank you.
Oh! Well, if tears aren't shed at the end of this match, I'll be amazed. The emotions out here are difficult to describe. Unbelievable tennis and an incredible match. With that winning forehand, Sampras Agassi has come back into this semi-final. And after that forehand pass, the back end towards the end of that fourth set tiebreak, you would have just expected any normal person to have capitulated into losing the next 3 or 4 points. Not this man in picture here. He is desperate to win this match. And what a match it is.
Well, it's astonishing.